You're watching 32 WLKY TV, Louisville. Now, Liz Everman, Vicki Dortch, Fred Cowgill with sports, and meteorologist Wayne Hart with weather. This is Channel 32 News.
Good evening. Topping our late report and an emotional encounter in Radcliffe.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving sent a victim assistance team back to Radcliffe this weekend for another series of sessions with those affected by the May 14th bus crash that killed 27 people. John Bull was at the first meeting and he joins us now with more. John?
Liz and Vicki, grief is still painfully evident in Radcliffe now 8 months after the accident. It's pretty difficult to put together a group of people who have gone through something similar to what tiny Radcliffe has. But that's what the National MAD organization did tonight, as survivors of the crash and parents of the victims got to listen to other survivors and parents.
The thing that brings us together is not a happy situation.
Everyone in this room is grieving the loss of loved ones, especially the speakers.
I know God will never put on me more than I can bear, but I'm sure that our situation was just like so many of you have thought so many times since your crash. You know, how much will I have to bear?
You're not unique. You're not crazy. You're hurting, and you're a human being.
Another thing they all share is tear-filled eyes.
That's a big mistake.
These are some of the same people who flew to Radcliffe last July to help in the community's early stages of grief. They are men and women who have been burned or lost loved ones, like Radcliffe did when a man accused of being drunk hit a bus head-on, killing 27 people. 8 months later, their message to Radcliffe: don't be afraid to laugh. People care, and time will heal the pain. But for the mother of one of the bus crash victims, January is no different from May.
Some days it seems worse. When it first happens, it's like you're in a dream. You're going through things that you don't realize what you're feeling, and then all at once the real truth hits you. It's truly final. It's gone. She's gone forever.
They say time heals. Is time healing?
Yeah, a little. It doesn't hurt as bad when I talk to the parents and stuff anymore. But it really has helped a little.
Tomorrow afternoon, the victim assistance team will meet with families and friends of bus crash victims in special one-on-one sessions.
So it's not getting any easier for the people involved.
Very few of the people involved say it's getting any easier, correct?
We wish them a lot of luck.
We do.
Thanks, John. A Hardin County Amish father is in jail tonight on contempt charges after refusing to produce his son for chemotherapy treatments for his cancer. Danny Mass came to the Hardin County Courthouse flanked by his community preacher. A former physician of his 6-year-old son initiated the state action in juvenile court. The family was stunned by the court's decision to jail Mast, who now says he doesn't know where his son is.
No, we won't give the child over. We're taking care of the child.
The Amish community, along with Mast, decided to discontinue the chemotherapy and try an herbal treatment. Mast's court-appointed attorney, James Gregory.
Mr. Mast stated to the judge that he would not produce the child. Therefore, he has been removed to the Hardin County Jail on a contempt motion.
And does that mean he'll stay in jail until?
My understanding is that he will remain in the Hardin County Jail until such time as he chooses to produce the child or some other termination of the case.
Friends and neighbors of the Amish families who live 3 miles west of Sonora say they'll have to think about this decision. This is the first time someone from their group has ever been jailed. Tonight on Telepoll, we wanted to know what you think about the situation. We randomly called residents and asked, do you think state authorities should have the right to make parents give their children certain medical treatment? 57% of those called say yes, the state should have the right. 38% say no. 5% didn't comment. Here's what some of you have to say.
I just don't like the idea of the parents being told what to do by the state.
Well, I think parents knows what's best for their children, and they're responsible for their children.
Parents may personally feel that they don't need the treatment, but if it's going to be a life-saving type of treatment, I think, yeah. I'd rather err on the side of saving that kid than killing him.
It's a very difficult question, no question, there's no doubt about that, but I think the parents should really have the right, ultimately, in deciding what's right for that child.
Yeah, I just don't believe any parent has the right to, neglect their children medical treatment. I don't care who they are.
I don't think people should let their children die, but I don't think there should be a better way than more governmental interference.
On the subject of children and medical care, a Soviet newspaper says 27 children in a southern Russian hospital are suffering from AIDS because nurses used non-sterile syringes. The paper says tests are planned on more children as well as on patients at other facilities. Authorities are considering charges of criminal negligence. In San Antonio, Texas today, a newborn baby girl was found in a grocery bag. Miraculously, the little girl is okay. Police say the baby was found in a bag wedged between a concrete curb and a utility pole just outside a lounge. 20-year-old Karen Taggart was on her way to the store when she heard the baby crying. Hospital officials say the girl weighs 5.5 pounds and is in good condition in intensive care. Police are trying to find the mother of the abandoned newborn. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is investigating why a 911 dispatcher hung up on a man reporting a shooting and expressing fears for his own life. This is a recording of the 911 call that came into the LA Sheriff's Office.
Hey, helicopter, quick. Hello? Hello? Helicopter, quick. Hello? Quick. Anybody there? Hello? They're gonna have me get my ass kicked. Hurry up. No. Yes. No. What? You gonna talk to me? Yeah, I'm scared. All right, has anybody been shot, yes or no? I don't know. What do you got there? What the hell are you yelling about? Come on, get some squad cars over. No, I ain't getting nobody nowhere unless you talk to me. You wanna talk to me? I'm gonna get killed. Oh, yeah, there's blood everywhere. There's blood. Okay. Oh, Dad. Dude, oh, God, damn. Hey, have a nice day, okay? Come on.
He thought he was just being a jerk, and he wasn't listening to me. He could have said simply, just could have said, hey, there's units on the way, if there was, or I'll send someone there. That's all he needed to do.
A 15-year-old boy was killed that night. Today, the sheriff said the deputy made a bad judgment when he hung up on the man.
An 18-year-old Washington, D.C. man is under arrest in connection with yesterday's shooting of 4 students outside a city high school. Rodney Reardon was arrested today and charged with 4 counts of assault with intent to kill. Police say Reardon shot 4 students after an argument in the lunchroom earlier in the day. The students are all in stable condition. Meanwhile, today at Woodrow Wilson High School, security was beefed up and patrols of local black Muslims were on hand. Authorities in Price, Utah are looking for the grave of a 15-year-old girl allegedly killed by serial murderer Ted Bundy. Authorities say that 45 minutes before Bundy was executed in Florida, he told exactly where he disposed of 2 victims' bodies in Utah and Colorado. Searchers have been working in Utah, but sheriffs say snow cover is impeding the effort to find an unmarked grave. Bundy says he dumped the other body in a river. In Los Angeles, the long-awaited trial of the Night Stalker gets underway on Monday. Richard Ramirez was arrested in 1985 and accused of 13 serial killings that terrorized Southern California. Jury selection for the trial lasted 6 months. Ramirez is 28 years old and a self-proclaimed devil worshiper.
Political extremist Lyndon LaRouche will spend the next 15 years in prison. Defiantly declaring his innocence, LaRouche was sentenced today for scheming to defraud the IRS and deliberately defaulting on loans from his supporters. An attorney for LaRouche says he'll appeal the sentence. 6 LaRouche aides were also given lesser prison terms and fines. And 3 more people have been caught in the net of Operation Illwind, the Pentagon fraud probe. A Marine procurement officer has pleaded guilty to taking bribes, and a former corporate executive and a consultant both confessed to making illegal campaign contributions to key members of Congress. The 3 will be sentenced later this year. And former National Security aide Oliver North was back in court today. His lawyers are trying to force President Bush and former President Reagan to testify at North's conspiracy trial. Judge Gerhard Gazelle says he could compel the 2 to testify if he had to, but only as a last resort. Gazelle still has not ruled on the motion.
After his first week in office, President Bush says he's ready to roll, and with only 20 minutes notice, he held his first news conference. Bush had promised he'd be accessible to the media, and today he answered their questions for 45 minutes. That's longer than any Reagan news conference ever. On the major controversy of the first week, the proposal to rescue the savings and loan industry by charging bank customers, Bush said it was one of many options. The president also voiced support for a congressional pay raise, and he denied that his upcoming trip to China is intended as a snub of the Soviet Union. Meanwhile, across town, Bush's choice to be Secretary of Housing and Urban Development told a confirmation hearing that it will take more than government aid to solve the problems of the homelessness. Former New York Congressman Jack Kemp called for a complete and effective safety net that includes private efforts. His confirmation hearing was interrupted by protesters who accused him of being partly to blame for the reduction in affordable housing for low-income Americans. Bush's choice to be trade representative, Carla Hills, cleared the Senate Finance Committee today. The panel sent her nomination to the floor unanimously. In her testimony, Hills said that she would use a crowbar, if necessary, to pry open world markets when U.S. trading partners violate trade agreements.
NASA says engineers have found and fixed a leak in a hydrogen fuel line on the Space Shuttle Discovery. NASA says the leak was caused by a misalignment in a 2-inch section of the fuel line that links the shuttle and its external tank. Discovery is being prepared for a late February launch. And there was a memorial service today to remember the Challenger disaster 3 years ago tomorrow. Workers at Cape Canaveral paused to remember the 7 who died aboard the shuttle. The director of the Kennedy Space Center told the workers that the continuation of the space effort fulfills a promise to the astronauts who died in the explosion.
When we come back, a safety warning for Jefferson County homeowners.
And Louisville police say farewell to one of their best.
At first glance, most people don't see much difference between a two-wheel drive Nissan Hardbody, a Ford Ranger, and a Chevy S10. But the truth is, the Hardbody has more horsepower, a bigger cab, a bigger bed, and a bigger payload. In fact, the only place you won't find a big difference is the price. Try one on for size at your Nissan dealer now and ask about the no money down first-time buyer plan.
IB Tech, Indiana's technical college, invites you to take a look at educational opportunities that can enhance or change your career. IB Tech offers 1- and 2-year degrees in computer programming, electronics, accounting, secretarial sciences, health occupations, heating and air conditioning, and more. Experienced instructors, state-of-the-art equipment, and a low student-instructor ratio allow you the best possible education. Call today for a free course catalog. IB Tech, Indiana's technical college.
Does the spirit of a powerful, bloodlusting goddess live in the body of this 9-year-old girl? Look inside the ranks of a bizarre ancient cult that still uses ritual sacrifice and worships the every whim of a tiny child. It sounds like the Dark Ages, but today thousands of faithful followers believe the living virgin goddess is all-powerful.
Tonight, following Channel 32 News at 11.
Bad colds hit hard. For throbbing, aching, feverish colds like this, you need strong medicine. You need Dimetap Plus, the proven cold relief of Dimetap, plus a non-aspirin pain reliever. So next time a really painful cold hits, hit back. With Dimetap Plus, you'll be back in the fast lane in no time. Dimetap Plus, good advice for the worst colds.
The closed Red Pin landfill in Oldham County is not causing more Pewee Valley residents to contract leukemia. The Oldham County Board of Health says it found no link between the landfill and the disease. There have been several cases of leukemia reported in Pewee Valley, but Dr. Tom Clark, the head of the Board of Health, says the community has no higher incidence of leukemia than any other community.
State officials recommend all Jefferson County homeowners check their homes for radon. That's because significant levels of the gas have been found here. A St. Matthews family did just that, and what they found surprised them. And the state chose the home as one of 2 training sites for reducing radon levels.
Baby finds a hat.
Mary Mauser says she's had a feeling of relief now that the radon levels in her home have been drastically reduced. 10-month-old Rachel was the main reason Mary picked up this radon kit at an area drugstore to test her home.
We're really concerned because our children are very young and, you know, we didn't want them exposed to radiation at this age.
When the test results came back, Mary says she was surprised.
There were 31, which was considered equal to smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, so we were pretty shocked.
After a week of work, the contractors reduced the level of radon in her 11-year-old tri-level home from 31 to 0.2. Don Nodler, a state supervisor for radiation control, says that's the level usually found in the air.
It's in essence a vacuum system or a suction system that collects the radon from underneath the affected area and then vents it out through the roof so it won't be sucked back into the house.
Nodler says reducing radon levels in your home can be costly. He says what they did in this home would have cost about $1,500.
Federal and local authorities are refusing to talk about last night's raids on several locations in Jefferson County. They hauled out several bags from a house in the city's west end, but they wouldn't say what was in them. According to court records, 10 pounds of marijuana was discovered in a garage. 30-year-old David Hockensmith was arrested on a marijuana charge. He pleaded not guilty this morning. Hockensmith has been under investigation since a large stash of cocaine was discovered in a hidden compartment of this Lincoln Continental. Glenn Anthony Hughes, who was driving the car at the time, was arrested. The car belongs to Hockensmith. His attorney is Robert Zeman.
Is that your client's dope in the car? I certainly couldn't answer for the allegations that are made, and I don't really know. There's certainly been no charges in relation to that made against my client.
Police placed the value of the cocaine found in the car at $1 million. Among those participating in last night's raids were Internal Revenue and alcohol, tobacco, and firearms agents. A Jefferson County police officer accused of aiding in the theft of a convenience store has been fired. Henry Cook Jr., shown here when he headed a West Louisville crime prevention group called the Nighthawks, joined the police force in late 1985. According to his termination letter, Cook aided in the theft of money from a convenience store on Poplar Level Road earlier this month. The letter also says Cook admitted to using marijuana. Whether Cook faces any charges will be up to the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office.
The Louisville Police Department held its promotion ceremonies today. Sydney Shane, a 14-year veteran of the police force, became one of only 4 women to be promoted to the rank of lieutenant. At the ceremony, her husband, also a member of the police department, did the honors of pinning her. Also tonight, there are 4 new sergeants. Randall Hatcher, Colin Harris, and Richard Hobbs stepped up a rank. Also promoted to sergeant is an undercover narcotics agent who can't be identified. Another public servant joined the ranks of the retired this afternoon. Police dog Benny was given a Medal of Honor by the Chief of Police to recognize 6 years of service to the department. But Benny's retirement doesn't mean he'll be put out to passenger. He gets to go home with his handler, Sergeant Richard Hobbs.
He's not retiring. He's going home. He's going to be my pet. And, you know, I guess going to work 14 years with a dog, and now all of a sudden I'm not. You know, a little tough.
For the past 6 years, Benny's been a duo canine. His extraordinary sniffing abilities have enabled him to double as a search dog and narcotics sniffer.
Looks like a cute dog. Well, still to come, what will our weekend weather be like? We'll find out next.
And we'll find out why Wayne Hart was moonlighting as a waiter. Stay with us.
For Kentuckiana's weather forecast anytime, call the 32 WLKY Weather Center at 585-1212. For the most comprehensive look at the weather, stay tuned. Wayne Hart's AMS certified forecast is coming up.
Inside this freeze chamber, it's so cold humans can only work for 5 minutes at a time. So we've sent in experts used to working in frigid conditions to see if Gulf Super with Ice Guard can stop fuel line freeze. Okay, guys, start her up. Well, there it is. Gulf Super with Ice Guard stops fuel line freeze, and it's guaranteed. You go or Gulf pays the tow. No dry gas can make that claim. Uh-oh. Security, Burgess is driving again.
Value City Furniture customers, we've cut prices again. Our warehouse and showrooms are jammed to capacity with discontinued 88 merchandise, and new furniture's arriving daily. There's only one thing we can do. Everything must go. Living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, dinettes, recliners, tables, lamps, pictures, desks, everything. Gigantic markdowns, record-breaking savings, incredible price cuts. Nothing is held back. We've cut prices again. Buy with no money down, because everything must go at Value City Furniture.
In Kentuckiana, one name means more Ford for less money. Bill Collins Ford.
Kentuckiana's sales leader in 1988 wants to stay #1 by giving you more selection and more value. Like 89 Escorts or Rangers from $69.95 with 4.9 APR or cash back. And 89 Festivas from $54.95 with 4.9 APR or $400 back to you.
One name means more. Bill Collins Ford.
Throughout broadcasting history, man has discovered that some things naturally go together. Sherlock Holmes and Watson, Spanky and Alfalfa. Now Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy are making history together.
Here it comes.
Tomorrow night, beginning at 7 on 32 WLKY.
We may soon have to change the geography books. Senators in North Dakota are considering 2 resolutions that call for changing the state's name to simply Dakota. One senator says there's a certain romance about the name Dakota standing alone. The Democratic senator from Fargo would like Congress to modify the state's federal enabling act so the name could be changed.
Well, Louisville is adding another airline. Air Toronto will begin 3 daily flights between Louisville and Toronto beginning February 26th. Air Toronto is a 4-year-old company, and Louisville is its 8th American city.
Celebrities were out tonight at the 21st Annual Cystic Fibrosis Celebrity Dinner. The dinner, held at the Galt House, was hosted by Pee Wee Reese. The dinner gives those who are healthy the chance to help local youngsters who suffer with cystic fibrosis. And it's an evening where celebrities have fun interacting with hundreds of dinner guests while acting as waiters and waitresses for the evening. And, of course, our own Jana Wallace and Wayne Hart were waiting tables. Wayne, did you spill any food on anybody?
No, I'm getting pretty good at this.
Good.
I really am. I could maybe have another career on the side, maybe a little moonlighting.
Yeah, how about that? Why, did you do well with the tips?
I did fairly well, but I had to leave before the auction, and that's when most of the money was really being saved up. And I'm sure they had a good time tonight, and all towards a very good cause. About 550 people on hand.
And I guess they were happy about the weather we've been having?
Oh, another great day, and tomorrow is going to be even nicer, believe it or not. The weekend won't be too bad. We're going to have a little bit of rain in here on Sunday, but that's just about it. But, of course, all this warm weather is causing some problems for the ski resorts. But Ski Butler is planning to be open tomorrow, but you might want to call ahead of time because it's going to be awfully warm tomorrow afternoon. But 52 years ago, rain was the problem. Yesterday is the anniversary of the Great Flood in 1937 when half the city of Louisville was underwater. Several hundred people lost their lives. But more nice weather on the way for us, and right now we continue to enjoy clear skies. We're going to go over to Georgetown for our weather shot this evening. And this is about 12 miles outside of the city, but it offered a panoramic view of downtown Louisville. And yes, with clear skies, the temperatures continue to drop. Currently 36 at the airport. The relative humidity 64%. Winds are southerly at 5 miles per hour, and the pressure's on the way down. Our high made it up to 51 degrees this afternoon at 3:30, 10 above normal. Our morning low was 30 at 7:30. No rain today. As a matter of fact, there was no cloudiness out there. Air quality was in the good category. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:51. And the sun will set at 6:01. Well, I'm going to show you this again in case you missed it at 6 o'clock when the folks in the little village of Tanana, Alaska woke up this morning. The thermometer read 76 degrees below zero in McGrath. It was 74 below, and in Galena, 68 degrees below zero. All of these all-time record lows. And the problem is a big Arctic high-pressure system that's sitting over Alaska. And you couple that with the fact that the sun barely gets above the horizon this time of year, it can get mighty cold up there, and that certainly has been the case for the past week. But yet another nice day here in Kentuckiana. We can't complain. We're getting the better end of the stick this winter, and as we speak, skies remain clear on the outside, and temperatures are dropping off. It's already 30 degrees over in Douglas Hills up in Mitchell. It's 38, and down in Harned, 34 degrees. But we've got more nice weather on the way, courtesy of this high-pressure system over central Tennessee. It will continue to move slowly to the east over the next 24 hours, and that means tomorrow, yet another nice one, lots of sunshine. High temperatures should reach up to around 60 degrees here in the city as we get on the backside of that high into that southerly flow of air. A little bit cooler, though, up towards the north and east, but you'll notice to the southwest, we got something brewing down there, and yes, moisture is headed our direction. Forecast map for tomorrow evening will show that moisture in the form of rain moving into the Mississippi Valley, but the latest guidance is indicating this rain might shoot, or at least the bulk of the rain might move to the north on Sunday across northern Indiana, leaving us in only scattered showers and highs again in the 50s. Okay, let's wrap it up in the forecast. Overnight, clear. A low temperature down to about 30 degrees. Another great day tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. A mild high about 60 in the city. Upper 50s to the north and east. Tomorrow night, clouds will thicken up. I'm going to delete that chance of a shower, and it should be a little warmer, a low in the upper 40s. And for Sunday, mostly cloudy with scattered showers, and again, a high of 50 to 55. But it looks like winter will return the middle part and maybe the latter part of next week, so enjoy it while you can.
If you're going to have spring fever, have it now.
Right now.
Okay, thanks, Wayne.
Coming up next in sports, will the UK trustees meeting be open? Fred will tell us.
And could Manuel stay unbeaten? Girls LIT action, plus more next on Channel 32 Sports.
Hi, I'm Bert Wolf. You know, Winn-Dixie is committed to giving you the best service around. Just listen to what the people who shop here have to say.
If I had to rate it from 1 to 10, I'd give it 11.
I think it's wonderful. First of all, it's convenient, and secondly, everything's here that you need, and it's a very lovely place, clean place to come to.
So come on in. Winn-Dixie, America's supermarket.
I'll tell you some more.
Your Kentuckiana Chevy dealers interrupt for this special announcement. This is our final clearance of all remaining 88 Chevy Sprints, Novas, and Spectrums. I repeat, final 88 clearance. Prices start at just $53.25. $53.25. Plus, get up to $600 factory cash back on an 88 Spectrum. $600 cash. Pocket the cash or use it as your down payment. Or choose financing as low as 4.9%. 4.9. But hurry, this is our final sale on all remaining 88s. Every Sprint, Nova, and Spectrum must go. See your nearest Kentuckiana Chevy dealer today.
The coldest months of winter are still ahead. There's plenty of bone-chilling weather to come. But here's the best way to stay warm. Right now, Burlington Coat Factory has a huge selection of warm winter coats, and almost every coat in Burlington stock is on sale at the lowest prices of the season. Coats for ladies, men, and children at Burlington's low sale prices. There's never been a better time to buy a winter coat than right now at Burlington Coat Factory.
For the 53rd year, it's inventory clearance time at Schmidt Furniture. Big once-a-year reductions on one-of-a-kind items, floor samples, and discontinued covers, including all-style sofas, love seats, incliners, sofa beds, and recliners. Famous brand-name bedroom suits, dining room suits, and individual selections. Everything is first come, first served during this big inventory clearance.
We're the affordable furniture store, Schmidt Furniture. On the furniture corner of State and Main in New Albany.
Fred, the decision's still out. We don't know what will happen tomorrow in Lexington.
And we may not know until like 8:30 tomorrow morning. If the judge continues to deliberate, he could wait right until the beginning of the meeting. Hello again, everybody. We may not know until tomorrow morning if UK's Board of Trustees meeting will be open to the public when it begins at 8:30 in Lexington. That's when the school will reveal its written response to the NCAA's 18 allegations against the basketball program. The university wants to protect the privacy of those involved. So it's been spending the day fighting a media lawsuit which is trying to open the meeting up. Appeals have reached the state Supreme Court. The judge is now in chambers considering his decision. It may take all night. Earlier in the day, Wildcats guard Eric Manuel won a temporary delay in his academic records being made public. Thursday, his college entrance exam score was invalidated. One of the 18 charges against UK is that Manuel cheated on his ACT. Despite all this, Kentucky has to play its way through all this mess with another game. The Cats are at Ole Miss tomorrow afternoon. U of L basketball's right here on Channel 32 Sports Sunday, starting with our doubleheader pregame show at 1 o'clock. Join Bob, Brainy, and I as we look at the Cardinals' try for a national best 15th straight win against number 17 Ohio State on the way to possibly their third national title of the decade. One thing that number 3 Louisville will have to improve on is its free throw shooting. Star Purvis Ellison alone missed 6 straight at one point during the eventual blowout win at Southern Miss on Thursday.
It was funny because everyone that shot the ball the ball too hard to hit the back rim on every shot. And normally when you're missing free throws, it's the front rim that gets in the way. But I guess
if the Cards can beat Ohio State and number 2 Georgetown loses at LSU this weekend, Louisville would become number 1 in the regular season for the first time in its history. Of course, now number 1 Illinois has already lost this week. Also, number 16 IU goes for its 14th straight win tomorrow night at number 1 Illinois. The Hoosiers have the Big Ten lead all to themselves. And Bud Carson's becoming the 7th head coach the NFL's Cleveland Browns have ever had. He's been defensive coordinator with the Jets. Carson replaces Marty Schottenheimer, who left to eventually become head coach in Kansas City. Now, back to basketball a second. With heavyweight Southern out of action after being disqualified for playing in too many tournaments, Manuel's enjoyed the spotlight in the girls' LIT. But tonight, really, was the beginning of the serious stuff, the quarterfinals, and the Lady Crimsons in white had to start living up to their advertising as one of the USA's top 20 clubs, and they did. Samantha Williams was there to save the day when Manuel had a rare miss. There were more stars for the Lady Crimsons as they completely dominated the boards. Gwen Doyle was one of them as Manuel dusted Owensboro 78-49 for its 15th win at as many tries this season to advance to Saturday morning semifinals. Manuel will play East Hardin as that team beat Mercy by just a point today. The other 2 quarterfinal winners were Lexington Bryan Station and Marshall County. They meet in tomorrow's other semifinal. The title game is tomorrow night at 9. One of Jefferson County's best rivalries is Ballard and Eastern. What makes it even more tasty is when the Bruins are defending state champs and top 10 in the USA, while the Eagles are on their home floor. We go to Middletown and Eastern High, where the Eagles were in white, and the place was packed, but the crowd was split, divided in loyalty. Watch the Eagles' Alan Tolley. Pick it up right here. This guy pumps like a half dozen times. Look at that. And he hits it too. Not bad. Eastern in the lead. But Ballard right back. This time it's Scott Gardner. It was a wild one. Look at that. Did he hoist it in or what? and the Bruins really got it going when Top Gun Mark Bell began wheeling and dealing. Oh, yeah. Ballard rolls to a 69-58 win over arch-rival Eastern. The scoreboard. Southern was a winner tonight. Same for Iroquois. J-Town beats PRP. 9-0 winner. Valley, our team of the week, now 16-5 on the season as the Vikings beat Southwest Christian. DeSales, a winner by a point. Oldham County, big over Spencer County. Washington County, no problems. Fairdale, it was Jermaine Brown with 25 points and 13 rebounds as the Bulldogs beat Doss. Bardstown, an easy winner. Western loses to Moore. And Highview Baptist over Collegiate. Indiana boys, it was North Harrison a winner. Same for Cardin. Floyd Central in a very big win over Clarksville. New Washington dusts Borden by 30, a top 10 team in the state despite being one of the smallest teams in the state. Bedford North Lawrence takes advantage of Jeffersonville, a big win for them tonight. Graceland Christian now 12-2 on the season, a winner in overtime over Providence. Scottsburg over Jennings County. Madison beats Silver Creek, and Salem over Austin. Lots of college basketball this weekend. U of L, maybe #1 by Monday, huh? We'll see.
Be a good weekend.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fred.
Well, still to come, the Sesame Street Gang did some entertaining at Louisville Gardens tonight.
But earlier today, they were doing some teaching. We'll tell you about it next.
There's a monster in Louisville. Budget car sales, monster clearance. 4 monster offers. A $3,000 minimum trade-in allowance on all red tag models. A $1,000 cash rebate. No payments till April. Monster discounts, like an '88 Chevy Cavalier. $59.95. This week at Budget Car Sales, monster clearance.
Sam Myers has been dressing up Louisville since 1905. Starting January 30 through the end of February, the cost of dressing up is going down. Sam Myers' 12th annual warehouse sale, featuring tuxedos by Hickey Freeman, Christian Dior, After Six, and the largest selection of formal accessories in Louisville, all at 20% off the regular price. Top that off with a selected group of rental tuxedos you can purchase at a fraction of their original cost. Don't miss the Super Warehouse sale at Sam Myers, 3400 Bashford Avenue Court, behind Heightsman's Bakery on Heights Lake.
Me and My Girl, Broadway's biggest musical comedy hit, promises you'll have love, laughter, and be happy ever after. Now's the time to get your tickets to Broadway's happiest hit, the award-winning musical, Me and My Girl.
Get $6 off a pair of tickets to opening night or any weekend matinee performance, courtesy of Pepsi Cola and 32 WLKY TV. Look for coupon hangers on all 2-liter Pepsi products.
1/2 of all men and some women as well will be plagued by thinning hair or baldness as they grow older. If you are among them, the question is, can you beat baldness? The answer now may well be yes. Join host Joseph Campanella and a highly qualified panel of doctors and experts as they dispel some myths and explore the facts about baldness and its cure on Looking Closer, right here on this channel.
Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock here on 32 WLKY.
It was preschooler heaven tonight at Louisville Gardens. The Sesame Street Gang took to the stage for Sesame Street Live. Tonight was Tootsie's and Channel 32 night. I was there and it was a good crowd. But earlier today at the Children's Edition Daycare, Bert and Ernie helped the fire department teach an important lesson to the children.
I'm going to catch Nicholas's clothes on fire here. Okay, now his clothes are on fire. Now what's he have to do? First thing he does is he falls down on the ground. Fall down on the ground. Okay, turn right over this way. Okay, now the next thing I want him to do is put his hands up over his nose so he won't get this hot smoke down into his nose and burn the inside of him. Now what he has to do is just start rolling. Okay, now roll across the mat until the fire goes out. Keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. Okay.
Then it was Ernie's turn to stop, drop, and roll. And then Captain Milner of the fire department had everybody practice. It was fun, and it could save lives.
Maybe we should invite them to the television station. We'll roll around the studio
That's right.
for a while.
Sounds like a good idea.
We thank you for joining this week. Have a good weekend.
Good night.